Tally ho YouTube, my name is Flowerman and I'm here to bring you the cricket scores. Only joking, I'm here to bring you my favourite loadouts from Team2, Part 2. And don't worry, I'm not going to do the whole thing in that voice, because you would probably cry. Yeah, so straight back into it. We left off with Demo Man, with my double demo, can't think of a word that means loadout that begins with D, but never mind. As soon as my TF2 stops breaking, there we go, I will go into heavy. Ugh. Sorry folks, you're going to have to put up with this. So yeah, primary, Hugh along here, because there aren't really any bad points about this. It looks pretty cool. Looks a bit Chinese, doesn't really go with his lovely Russian hat, but never mind. Sorry if I offended any Chinese people, but that's just my opinion. The first thing is it fires 6 ammo per second. That is quite a lot of ammo. If you aim this at a scout for a single second, you are probably going to kill him. And if you don't, then somebody else will. So yeah, it also sustains a ring of flames while deployed, which is great because, like, if there's spies coming up to you trying to backstab you, you set them on fire. If they've got a spicicle, their spicicle disappears. And also, if they kill you, then you're probably going to kill them as well, because they're going to be on fire. If they try to get back to their base invisible, then people are going to see them. So you can do a pyro's job as well, and spy check people too. Secondly, sandwich, because it's better than the other stuff, because, I mean, I'm not entirely sure adds 15 max health for 30 seconds. That is quite a good thing, but if you're really low on health, it's not very helpful. Buffalo steak, while under the effects move speed is increased, yeah, whatever. Basically, it's not very good. You just get crits and you walk faster. And you can only use your melee weapon, which is even worse, because my melee weapon is the killing gloves of boxing. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it's the gloves of running urgency, sorry. And it doesn't do very much damage. The only reason I have the gloves of running urgency is because you can run fast. So you hear along here runs out of stuff, and you're low on health, so you run away using these, nom 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 on your sandwich, get back to full health, and stuff happens. You can run to your base and get more ammo, basically. Yeah. So that's heavy. Engineer. Now, engineer's quite a hard one to sort of decide, because I mean, the frontier justice I've gone with because of the crits that you get when someone destroys a building, and I'm going to be honest, when I play engineer, I end up with about 20 buildings destroyed, like the second I put them up, even though I've only put one up. That's how bad I am. So if I see a spy and he's set one of my buildings to be destroyed, then I'll teleport back to my spawn with this, if it's too late to save it, so that he doesn't kill me. Then I can carry on with my crits, kill him, go back out, kill him, and then build again, and then take some manual control of my sentry gun with my Wrangler, which is amazing. Who doesn't want to do that? You can play as a sentry, even though it doesn't walk. Sorry about that. Back onto medic. First, as soon as it stops breaking, first Crusader's crossbow, because you can heal your teammates, and I don't know, it's kind of like a huntsman, but for medic. And to be honest, I don't really like the syringe guns. I mean, I did have the Bloodstalker thing as well, but I don't really like that or the overdose, because I mean, you're firing syringes, it's a bit lame. Only thing is no headshots, which would be cool, but you can't, so there. Yeah, it's good, you can reload quick and everything. Secondly, Kritzkrieg, because you get crits on overcharge, which is great, because what is the point in being invulnerable if you don't do much damage? Also, what is the point? What does the quick fix even do? 40% heal rate, whatever. Can't overheal. Oh well, that's rubbish. And the problem with the Vaccinator is it only sort of provides protection against one specific kind of damage, which again isn't very good. Melee, Ubersaw, rather, because when you hit someone, you get plus 25 Ubercharge, so if you find an AFK player, you can just go and hit him 4 times, and you got your Ubercharge done. Also, if you're being attacked by a lot of people with your, and you got your heavy with you, say that like it's a piece of equipment, but never mind. Maybe you got 75% Ubercharge, you just need that last little bit so that you can stay alive. Run up, hit one of them with your saw, get your crit screed, get crits on your heavy, you're saved. Especially if the heavy has your Huo long heater, because critical fire is very cool. Now on to Sniper. As soon as my TF2 stopped dying. Sniper's quite a hard one to choose, so I'm just going to sort of talk you through most of them and sort of express a preference towards one or two. First of all, the upper hand. It's good, is the upper hand, but it doesn't really have any sort of plus sides. It's just a really awesome looking sniper rifle. Apart from the upper hand, I like to use the Hitman's Heatmaker because it's silent, basically. The only thing is with it, you can't get body, well, you can get body shots, but it's just quite bad for body shots, really. Machinima is all, not Machinima, Machina is also pretty good, except for the fact that you can't shoot when you're not scoped. So if someone comes up behind you, you can't just shoot them in the head. You've got to scope and then shoot them in the head, which can be quite bad and unhelpful. But another bad thing is the tracer rounds. People can see where you are if you've got a position, whereas with the Heatmaker, no one can tell because it's so quiet. They'll, like, someone will just die and they'll be like, oh, where did that come from? I don't know. Bizarre Bargain, I don't really like. It just doesn't look very nice. And yeah, base charge rate decreased by 20%, which means you got to stay zoomed in for ages. Huntsman is quite good, but it's not a sniper rifle really, it's a bow and arrow, to be honest. So yeah, Sydney Sleeper is terrible, no headshots, that is not what you want on a sniper. Girate is applied for 8 seconds to any hit targets, but that's not a good thing because it's sorry about that. This is going to be a flipping long video. Anyway, Sydney Sleeper is bad. It shoots little darts, it's kind of like what you would put a tiger to sleep with, to be honest. Which I suppose is probably what it was sort of aimed at being, but it's just not very good. I don't use it at all, ever. And it's not tradable either, which is even worse because I can't get rid of it. Huntsman, again, is alright, but overall I'll either use the Hitman's Heatmaker if, I don't know. Basically, it's either the Heatmaker or the upper hand. The upper hand is good because it shows off and it's quite expensive because it's worth like a hat. Anyway, I quite like the SMG for secondary because, I mean, it's good. The Cozy Camper is pretty good though, because you can, it gives you plus, I don't know if it's +1 or +2, +1 health per second on wear, which is alright, but I don't know, an SMG is just better because, like, if someone comes up behind you, you can just quickly get rid of them and then carry on sniping. I mean, the Cozy Camper sort of has a disadvantage, which is no flinching when aiming, which means if someone comes up and injures you, you're not going to know about it. And also knockback reduced by 20% when aiming, which is also pretty good, although 80% slower move speed when aiming, that's not very good. So you can't hit running targets really. Basically the SMG is good because the cleanest carbine, slow firing, it's just not very good, to be honest. So yeah, SMG is great because it's an SMG. Finally the Shan thing. I like this because you get increasing damage when health's +50%, and to be honest I am most of the time. unless I've just been shot in the head, in which case I would be running to get more health. So yeah, it's quite good. Yeah, stuff. I don't really like the bushwhacker, I don't even know why. And the tribalman's shiv is quite alright as well, because it bleeds, but I just prefer that. Anyway, onto the spy. The pistol is going to be a close call, because the ambassador is great, you can get crits on headshots, but it's very slow firer, and it doesn't do much damage unless you get a headshot. Whereas with the diamondback, which is one I also use quite a lot, it's quite a average thing, it just looks better than the normal pistol. Something just like the normal knife. I'm going to get a strange one very soon because it's cool. And yeah, basically stuff. It's good. And the only problem with the knives, I think I've sold most of my knives actually. I don't know why. The big earner. This is, I don't know, I quite like it because when you kill someone you get plus 30% cloak, which is quite cool. But what I don't like is the minus 25 health, max health. And the other thing, the Conniver's Kunai, that is awful. You end up with like 60 health. Now that is like terrible. Like one hit, critical hit could kill you. Big earner, you can't disguise unless you've killed someone. So sentry disabling is pretty bad. Spicicle can be melted by fire. And did I say big earner before? I meant the eternal reward. And the only trouble with the black rose is it's an achievement item from a game, from a different game, which I might get because it's a free game, and you have to get the first achievement, which is pretty simple, I think. And you get this on TF2. So yeah, that's the knife. For my cloak, I'm pretty sure I had more than this. I must have sold them again. But Dead Ringer is quite good, except for when you're doing sort of maps where you want to turn invisible at will, which is good. Cloak and Dagger is great because you can stay still and it'll recharge, whereas with the Invisiwatch it'll just go down, the charge will go down all the time and then go back up when you're not invisible. So Invisiwatch is great because you can sort of travel a long distance, and as soon as you get sort of like quite low you can just stay still for a bit until it charges back up and then keep on going. Dead Ring is great, but again with the charge, and also it fakes your death, which is great, but just not all the time. So I'll use that sometimes, maybe if I'm trying to get past a sentry or something. Just like walk past it and not destroy it. And finally, the only sapper I'm aware of, apart from the normal sapper, is the red tape recorder. But I do like it. It reverses enemy building construction, which is better than just sapping it, because if they break your sapper, then that's it can just carry on the sentry, whereas if you reduce the level, if say by the time they get to it it's back on level 1, that's going to cost them a lot and it's going to be a great inconvenience, and it's much easier to destroy on level 1 because it doesn't have rockets or massive machine guns or anything like that. So yeah, this has been my favourite TF2 loadouts. Don't forget to like, favourite, subscribe, whatever, all that stuff that people do, comment. Tell me your favourites in the comments below. Also I might do a favourite hats video. I was wearing, I think, all of my favourite hats in this video, but I might do a little extra on another video. But yeah, that's it for now. Au revoir.